downstairs and Lannon's surprises for me begin.
Yes, that's when the real day begins.
So he sits me down on the couch, tells me to close my eyes, put my hands out.
Surprise.
So he puts a vase of hydrangeas, beautiful, beautiful hydrangeas in my hands, and immediately I think of my grandma, gangster grandma, some of you might have known her, and her garden of hydrangeas, which she was just famous for.
Her pride and joy.
Pride and joy, the most beautiful, and I'm like, oh my god, this is so sweet, he's got me hydrangeas, and he got me crying in the first minute. I thought they were just, symbolic of
You thought they were just like ordinary hydrangeas.
Because my grandma's garden's in Tasmania, and we're in Sydney, so obviously.
For those of you that don't know, it's about a 2-hour flight, yeah.
Yeah, then he tells me they're from her garden and flown up this morning.
Yes, I was in communication with one of her aunties, and she had them freshly picked that morning. I sent one of the guys that works for me. He was more than happy to fly down to Tasmania and fly the flowers up that morning so that I could get her flowers from her grandmother's garden so that her grandmother could be part of the day with us. They were some good flowers.
They were beautiful. That's why I didn't believe they were from her garden because they were in such great condition.
They were saying they weren't going to be ready. Like, I had planned for months, but they were telling me like up until just a few days before, they're not ready, it's not going to happen, give up on the plan, it's not going to happen. And then like 2 days before, they're like, we found some hydrangeas miraculously.
I know.
Like just ready, they just came out of nowhere, it's like a miracle.
And then that had me bawling even more. I'm like,
yeah, like crazy. So that was just like honestly like before the main day even really started, because then we travelled to our favourite spot in Sydney, the cliffs overlooking the water.
We get over there, there's a picnic rug, there's an esky and an envelope which has this beautiful card.
You'll see the photos, guys, the artwork, like...
I don't think we can show it, you ducked us, you did it so well. Honestly. I'll censor out the information.
Yeah, basically I have the artistic skills of a 2-year-old, but I did my best, because I used to always draw Ilsa little cards and stuff and write little funny messages on them, so I brought that back for the engagement.
And then on the other side, a beautiful note that I won't share probably.
No,
it was just beautiful. And it says at the bottom, open the esky and enjoy the Negronis that he made, which is our favourite cocktail. Then we're sitting on the cliffs, having our Negronis.
Taking the views, the ocean, our favourite spot.
Yeah, just having a moment. And then he tells me, he's like, there are 3 phases today. This is phase 1. And I'm like, okay.
I didn't want her sitting there thinking like, oh my god, like just waiting for the moment that I get down on one knee.
Yeah.
I didn't want her sitting there waiting until like, by the way, there's 3 phases today. Proposal will happen at phase 2. That's all I'm telling you.
Yeah.
This is phase 1.
Then we travelled back to our house.
Yeah, no, I was like, oh, we have to travel to phase 2 now. Let's head back over to the house and we can go to phase 2. Little did she know, the house was phase 2.
So we're outside the house and I hear music, and not just any music, but Turning Page from the Twilight Saga, which is my favourite movie. And I'm like, do I hear Turning Page?
I thought it was like, is that fucking Turning Page?
Yeah.
I feel like in my head I imagine you swearing.
I think I probably did so.
Maybe that's just how I imagined you reacting in that moment.
So we walk up the stairs, go inside, and I'm like, damn, the speaker system is really good. Like, that sounds amazing. Walk in, there's a string quartet in the living room.
Yeah, and real life musicians, like orchestra, bro, like sitting in the living room playing those songs. Chicks love Twilight songs, man. I don't know nothing about it, but no, I said to her, like, I know you and also love those like Twilight songs, like it's like some of them are in weddings and stuff. So I knew it was like fitting for the moment. So I was like,
perfect.
I was like, I know she'll love this shit.
I was very overwhelmed. I think walking in, going like string quartet to the left, to the right, candles everywhere, and flowers.
While we were over at the cliffs, my sister and Ilsa's cousin, they set all this up. So when we walked in, it was not just the orchestra, it was like...
Yeah, it was beautiful. It was like, yeah, the candles were so well placed. So we walk over onto the back deck in between the flowers.
As we walked there, and I was ready for the big moment. Like for Ilsa, this was like an exciting day, and like lots of surprise. Like, because I didn't have a speech plan, but I knew I just wanted to speak to her in that moment. As we stood there, like take a breather, enjoy the music. It's like we had a real life soundtrack. I just wanted to take a moment to speak to her, but I just couldn't speak. I was just like... It was just me. I was so overwhelmed with emotion. A lot of the photos of me just looking like an absolute wreck. But I eventually got my shit together, and I had this whole thing where I was like, oh, I've forgotten something. I've forgotten the ring. Hold on, I've got someone's holding on to it for me. And near the front door is Custard's bed, which is Ilsa's childhood dog, lifelong pet. He's sadly no longer with us, but I keep his bed where it used to be, and I had the ring sitting in it, covered in a little blanket, and was like, I ran over and was like, oh, Custard was hanging onto it for me. He was looking after it.
And then I'm bawling again, and I'm just like,
because the whole point of the day was to get like important parts of our like journey. Like Custard we had him for like 2 years, have them be a part of the day and be some sort of symbolic part of the day.
Let's
so we
go.
got Custard involved there. So more crying.
More crying.
Meanwhile, the orchestra's still playing songs by the way. Just like cranking through it.
I think we're on to 1,000 years now.
It's cranking through it. It's like I've got a soundtrack to like my tears. I felt like out of body experience, like I'm in a movie or something.
Yeah, I did kind of black out at points for sure. Yes, he comes back with the ring, gets down on one knee.
Nailed it, by the way.
Nailed perfect lunge.
I had seen on TikTok a trend of people being like, oh, you don't want these guys leaning over and stuff.
The prawn.
Yeah. I had to nail the knee. Like I had to nail it.
And it was a perfect 1990 lunge.
Perfect.
It was. And then we're both crying. He says, Ilsa Judith Watkins, will you marry me? I'm like, yes. And then he puts the ring on my finger.
I was just like, oh my god.
But the surprises didn't stop there.
No.
So after we've had a little moment, stop crying, he goes into the pantry and he comes out with the 6-litre Belvedere bottle.
Because our first ever photo together was us at that Christmas party in 2018.
Yep.
Muzok had bought a big bottle of vodka and we took a photo with it.
And we'll do this side by side. We did try to recreate.
I wanted to recreate our first ever photo together.
And then we have shots.
Yeah, we did shots with the camera crew.
Because I remember, I think that was like my opening line to you. Was like people were like shots, and Lannon's like, this is a click party. No, I don't want a shot. And I'm like, do a shot, pussy. And then he's like,
so yeah, we did a shot out of the vodka bottle and we said, hey, let's get the camera crew and the photographers and stuff involved, and that was fun.
Yeah.
Vodka shots are terrible by the way. And in the first photo I was wasted, and in the second photo I looked wasted because I was crying. So it actually recreates quite well. So we had to phase 3. So to go to phase 3, I organised the most ridiculous, essentially Uber ride of our life. I got us a Rolls Royce just to take us 15 minutes. It was honestly the best drive of my life though. Cannot say enough about it.
It was really nice.
insane.
The doors opened backwards. Yes, I am so overwhelmed at the moment. I'm not really thinking. I don't know where we're going. I'm hardly thinking about where we're going because I'm just still soaking up what's already happened. And we pull up to a wharf. And I'm like, oh my god, he's gone and hired the boat from the first night he asked me out.
Because like a month after we met, we started dating and we became official during a New Year's party that was on a boat, and I had organised the very boat that's what happened on all those like 6 years ago.
Exact same boat. We go to get on the boat, and the crew was standing there with our 2 Hawaiian shirts that we also wore on the night that he asked me out.
Every New Year's
since we've been wearing those Hawaiian
shirts. It's our anniversary, so we wear them every day on anniversary.
Yes.
So I had those ready. I snuck them from Melbourne to Sydney without her knowing.
So I get on the boat, we put on our Hawaiian shirts, and I'm thinking we're about to take a nice little cruise around the harbour that we love, have a couple glasses of champagne, and then up come the stairs, my parents, followed by Lannon's parents.
Yeah. Surprise,
followed by Tanner, Elliot, my cousins, my friends, and I'm like, oh my god, like everyone I care about.
All the loved ones. Surprise, one final big surprise.
Which was, I think, just perfect. It was so nice to like celebrate with all of them as well. As much as it was our day, I feel like we'd had so many moments. It was nice to share like the excitement with everyone else.
Well, also just be ridiculous to have a boat just for 2 people, so we might as well.
Yeah, I wasn't even thinking about that at the time. I was like, this is so.
I mean, I would have, but it was just like, I'm lucky enough. I'm in a very fortunate position. I can do that, but like, this is way more people get to enjoy too.
We got very drunk.
I don't even remember leaving the boat.
No.
Hey, Google.
It was all the amount of relief, you know, off my shoulders after
Put an alarm in 45 minutes to call my mama for anniversary.
Family with us, lots of really wholesome conversations, lots of really nice photos. As you know, sort of the sunset on Sydney Harbour, the city that our relationship began. Yeah, it was really nice.
He did so well. I just like couldn't imagine a more thoughtful proposal.
There was
I
lots
felt
of
like a
really
princess.
Mama Miso for anniversary.
Yes,
We'll go
I
on.
think it was good.
So yeah,
We fiancés.
We fiancés.
We engaged.
But thank you all. Thank you all for coming along on our love story. Thanks for watching. Thank you for supporting us and being there.
Everyone who I used to watch is getting engaged. I feel fucking old. Damn. Triggered. Engaged. Lennon engaged.
भन्दैमा प्याच्च नबोल्नु बस्न पाएँ भन्दैमा फ्याच्च नबस्नु खान पाएँ भन्दैमा क्वाप्प नखानु केपी ओली र प्रचण्डले दुर्गा प्रसाईको घरमा बसेर मार्सी चामलको भात क्वाप्प नखाएको भए प्याच्च दुर्गा प्रसाईको गुणगान नगाएको भए
एउटा हिम्मत भएको मान्छे हो दुर्गा प्रसाई भन्ने कुरा
आज दुर्गा प्रसाई न कुनै राजनीतिक पार्टीको न कुनै वित्तीय संस्थाको न कुनै समुदायको र न त कुनै व्यवस्थाको नै टाउको दुखाइ बन्थ्यो होला आज यी दुई नेताहरूले खाएको मार्सी चामलको भातले धेरै नेपालीहरूको पेट कटी दुखेको छ खड्ग प्रसाद ओली एके केपी ओली र उनको पार्टी नेकपा एमालेलाई त खुलखुले नै लागेको छ कांग्रेस माओवादी एमाले हुँदै अहिले भर्खर राजावादी बनेका दुर्गा प्रसाईको कुनै स्पष्ट राजनीतिक विचारधारा छैन न त कुनै स्पष्ट अडान नै छ युट्युबरका दुना गाई बनेका दुर्गा प्रसाईको बोलीमा शिष्टता छैन कोही प्रति इज्जत छैन ब्याङ्क सहकारी लघु वित्तबारे उनले सारेको धारणा र चाइल्डिस मार्क सुन्दा लाग्छ उनको कुरामा तुक छैन दिमागमा सेन्स छैन र पनि उनको इम्प्याक्टलाई हेर्दा लाग्छ आम मान्छे कर्पोरेट हाउसदेखि राजनीतिक पार्टीसम्म दुर्गा प्रसाई नै सबका घटमाटो तर दुर्गा प्रसाई सबैका लागि टाउको दुखाइका विषय बनेका छन् भनेर भन्ने हो भने पनि त्यो कुरा अलि जायज हुँदैन दुर्गा प्रसाई कतिपय मान्छेका लागि रोल मोडल समेत बनेका छन् दुःख कष्ट अन्याय अत्याचारबाट उन्मुक्ति दिलाउन सक्ने हिरोइक क्यारेक्टरको रूपमा आफूलाई स्थापित गराउन पनि सफल भएका छन् नत्र उनले सडकमा उत्र भन्दा हजारौं जनता सडकमा उत्रने थिए दुर्गा प्रसाईले भनेकै भरमा वित्तीय संस्थाले ऋण माफ गरिदिन्छ भन्ने आशा आम मान्छेमा पलाउने थिए यसलाई अझ यसरी हेरौँ दुर्गा प्रसाई एउटा व्यक्ति हुन् एउटा क्यारेक्टर जसको ब्याकग्राउन्डलाई अलिकति मिहिन रूपमा केलाउने हो भने भोलि उनले कसको वकालत गर्दै हिँड्छन् कसको समर्थन गर्दै हिँड्छन् कसको विरोध गर्दै हिँड्छन् उनी स्वयं आफैलाई नै थाहा छैन तर पनि उनीसँग हाम्रो संस्थागत संरचना र राज्य व्यवस्था झस्किएको छ र एट द सेम टाइम उनको पछाडि धेरै समर्थकहरू कम्मर कसेर लागिरहेछन् यस्तो किसिमको डुवल र अनप्रेडिक्टेबल मान्छेको उदय हाम्रो समाजमा कसरी भयो होला उनको उदयले समाजलाई के असर पार्छ होला दुर्गा प्रसाई मानसिकता जन्माउने र यसलाई मलजल गर्नेहरूको होला यिनै प्रश्नहरूको सेरोफेरोमा छ आजको भिडियो तर भिडियो स्टार्ट गर्नु अगाडि लेट मी टेल यु अबाउट अल्टिमा लाइफस्टाइल अल्टिमा लाइफस्टाइलको दराज 11 को म्यासिभ सक्सेसपछि अल्टिमाले फेरि दराजसँग कोलाबोरेट गरेर 12 मा पनि पार्टिसिपेट गर्दैछ जसमा अल्टिमा लाइफस्टाइलको सबै प्रोडक्ट रेन्जमा एक्सक्लुसिभ डिस्काउन्ट र डिल्सहरू छन् आफ्नो सेभिङ्सलाई म्याक्सिमाइज गर्नको लागि तपाईहरुले दराज एपमा गएर अल्टिमा लाइफस्टाइलको पेज खोलेर 12% डिस्काउन्टको भाउचर्स कलेक्ट गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ र अल्टिमा लाइफस्टाइलको प्रोडक्ट शप गर्न सक्नुहुन्छ यो 12 मा अल्टिमाले स्टाइलिश अनि अफोर्डेबल कर्भ डिजाइन IP67 को वाटर एन्ड डस्ट रेजिस्टेन्ट अनि 7 डेज को ब्याट्री लाइफ भएको अल्टिमा वाच पनि लन्च गर्छ जसको फर्स्ट 500 युनिट्स
Make some noise for Kushal Bhanushali! Hi everybody, I am Kushal Bhanushali. मुझे विजुअल डिसेबिलिटी है, मुझे विजन प्रॉब्लम है, मुझसे दूसरों की तरक्की देखी नहीं जाती। नहीं, इस विजन प्रॉब्लम के बहुत सारे फायदे जैसे कि बस और ट्रेन में फ्री टिकट मिलता है मुझे, पर ट्रेन वाले मजे लेते हैं मेरे। हर बार इंडियन रेलवेज विजन प्रॉब्लम वाले कोटा में विंडो सीट देता है मेरे को। और मेरे दोस्त इतने हरामी वो नहीं समझ रहे, मुझे कहते तेरी तो 3 पत्ती में फाइन होती होगी ना। जेब में 100 रुपए भी हो फिर भी सारे बोलते अंडा में साया
आउँदैन RDR 12 धेरै नै फेमस छ RDR 2 भनेको भने आउँदैन RDR मेबी
सोसाइटी बहुत वियर्ड तरिके से ट्रीट कर रहा है
कहाँ हो रे त्यो फ्री वाला लिने भन्छ मलाई ल म पनि लिदिन्छु यसो ए रिज्युम डाउनलोड हो म मार्बल राइभल्स डाउनलोड गर्दै थिएँ
बस सही यार अगर लोग सिंपैथी ना दे वरना बड़ा अनकंफर्टेबल फील होता है मैं भी नहीं करता ये सब दिस वन टाइम मैं मेट्रो से ट्रैवल कर रहा था और पूरा डब्बा फुल था एक प्रोस्थेटिक लेग वाला बंदा आया और मुझे कहता है ब्रो सीट दे सकता है क्या मैंने कहा मेरे तो असली वाले दर्द करेंगे ना
क्या बात है
थैंक यू गाइस दैट वाज माय 35
क्या बात है भाई लेट्स गो मेक सम नॉइज फॉर तुषार सबने सेलिब्रेशन दे दिया क्या बात है यार बहन शो बहुत कमाल
यू वर सो गुड कैन आई अनदर अप्लॉज थैंक यू टू गुड यार कुशाल यू वर सो गुड कितने टाइम से कर रहे हैं यहाँ पे मैं 2 साल से कर रहा हूँ बट मैं टच में रहता हूँ ना तो मेरा स्टेज टाइम बहुत कम है कैन आई आस्क यू क्वेश्चन मेरे भाई हाँ कौन सी आंख देखूं मैं
ल अविरल सरको म्यान्डेटरी डट आयो है ल लेट्स गो डाउन नो मेरो भोलि एक्जाम छ म एकैछिन मात्रै स्ट्रिम गर्न आऊ म पढ्न जान छ म नर्मली 8 बजे आएर 11 बजेसम्म गर्थेँ आज छिटो आएको जस्ट सो दैट म छिटो पढ्न सुरु गरौँ
आजकल के जमाने में टीवी में ऐसा होता है कि काले को काला बोलो मोटे को मोटा बोलो अंधे को अंधा बोलो केस हो जाते हैं मैंने खुद ही अपने आप को बोलना शुरू कर दिया जैसे आप क्योंकि लोग मजाक उड़ाने इससे पहले आप बता दो कहां है मैं हूं मोटी तो हूं बीन बैग लोगों को भी तो लग रहा है ना नीला और लाल बीन बैग रखे
सही बात
लेकिन मुझे आपका स्टैंड अप बहुत अच्छा लगा कुशल
थैंक यू मैम यू वर सो गुड मैन आई हैव नथिंग टू टेल यू बट आई एम अ बिग फैन अरे बिग फैन ऑफ योर सर मैं मेरे साथ ये सब जब हुआ तो मैं फुल ऐसे डिप्रेशन वगैरह में था फिर मैंने कॉमिक्स में आपके परफॉर्मेंस देखे भाई एकदम बढ़िया
कॉमिक्स में आप देखे तो नहीं होंगे
ब्लर देखो
गरम मसाले वाली पाव भाजी खिला दूंगा
गरम मसाले वाली ठीक है लोग तो नाक छोड़ते जाएंगे
हात्ती पढेर ढिला म के क्लासमा यो ध्यानै देखाएन के पनि त्यो क्वेशन मध्ये सबै क्वेशन मध्ये मलाई एउटा क्वेशन मात्रै आउँछ त्यो एड गर्ने बेला त्यो समथिङ एउटा 2 मार्क्स आउँछ फेरि म के भन्छ 20 मा मिल्दैन
मम्मी भाई बताना सही देखने वाला
किरण
बॉपी पे टाइम रे
मुझे कुछ नहीं हुआ
ले इससे ज्यादा मैं कर लूं ये ठीक नहीं हो रहा
अच्छा आपने लिखा है मेरी कॉलोनी में सारे बच्चों का स्क्रीन टाइम कम है
हां मतलब उसका बाप जो बच्चा ज्यादा फोन देखता है मेरे पास लेके आता बोला देखो भैया जैसी आंखें हो जाएंगी
वाओ
और मैं शर्मा के नीचे देख के खड़ा होता उसके बाद ऊपर देखो बेटा ऊपर देखो
ए तैँले मलाई फोन किन हाने त्यसमा त अनचार्टेड छ क्या मसँग अल्सो के तैँले मलाई किन फोन हाने त्यसमा त अघि म मम्मीसँग बोल्दै थिएँ नि त्यही भएर उठाएँ
क्या बात है वो
तो आप क्या करते हैं भाई?
मैं एमए इंग्लिश कर रहा हूं इंग्लिश लिटरेचर में मैं मास्टर्स कर रहा हूं पर ऐसे स्टैंड अप ही कर रहा हूं अभी फुल टाइम
केटा सबले यो पपी प्ले टाइम डाउनलोड गरे हरर गेम रहेछ सबले सँगै खेल्न पर्छ फ्री छ है
नहीं नहीं हर समय
एपिक गेम छ
हाँ भाई आपके सामने हर समय टट्टी दिखती है
कैसा
एक दिन खेल्न पर्छ यो गेम हैन त्यही भएर सबैले डाउनलोड गरेर राख्नु है यो
जो बीच एक स्कार है ब्राउनिश कलर का जो टट्टी
Play
का फोटो
time,
दिख रहा है बंद फोटो भी दिख रहा है 24 घंटे दिख रहा है
वो सब छोड़ो भाई, अपना ब्लास्ट रेडियस का थोड़ा नक्शा का मतलब बताइए ना।
यार साले देखो तेरा पासवर्ड चिपक जाएगा अभी कुशल भाई fucking insane यार कुशल भाई लाइक आपको मैं कैसा व्हाट इज माय इमेज इन योर हेड क्योंकि आपने मुझे देखा नहीं तो आपको मैं कैसा दिखता हूं ऑन अ 1 to 10 क्या स्कोर देंगे आप मेरे लुक्स को
मैं कैसे मतलब ऐसे थोड़ा नजदीक आके देख लूं
नजदीक आके देख लो हां रोमांटिक डांस करोगे सर
नहीं 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 मैं कब से आया हूं मुझे आपसे प्यार नहीं है फिर भी 10 भाई 10 पर मुझे कम दिखता है
क्रेजी
ओह मैन
भाई आपने ये भी दिखा कि आपको स्टेज का फियर बिल्कुल भी नहीं
लोग नहीं दिखते
है। वाह
भाई जो भी नंबर लिखे हो ना उसको 10 में स्विच कर दो भाई।
डाउनलोड गरेर बस्नु न तिमी पढ्न थाल डाउनलोड गर अनि त्यसपछि
ये सब है ना भाई आई एम जस्ट ट्राइंग टू नो मोर अबाउट यू
के भन्छ पछि खेलौँला नि त
कब से आए हो
Yes.
Yes.
तो वहां पे डू कॉमेडी रेगुलरली
नहीं अहमदाबाद
अच्छा वहां पे लाफ्टर फैक्ट्री यू नो मनन देसाई
आई हैव ओपन फॉर मनन देसाई चिरायु मिस्त्री
Wow.
एंड दिस निशांत सूरी
अरु कुन बसेर थियो
एनी
अनचार्टेड
टाइम बता नहीं यहां पे बट एनी
ए
स्पॉट
साइड अफ द टुम रेडर सम्म अनचार्टेड हैन या साइड अफ द टुम रेडर
थैंक यू सो मच बहुत ऐसे मुझे मुश्किल होता है स्पॉट के लिए
एनी टाइम यू वांट टू स्पॉट भाई जस्ट मैसेज मी एनी टाइम ठीक है तो फॉर श्योर वो तो कराएंगे अब हो गया बोला ना बट ऑफ कोर्स वी विल ओपन इफ यू वांट टू आई मैसेज
अरे व्हाई नॉट सर
हां डन एकदम ही भव्य शाह उसके बाद ये
हां भव्य भाई को देख के तो मैं हाथ फोड़िए
अपडेट ए या अपडेट है जीटीए को नयाँ
अंधों में गाना राजा
ये मैंने सोचा था कि पहले शो का जो मैं स्पेशल करूंगा उसका नाम रखूंगा
क्या रखोगे
वाह अंदर का
Yes.
तो भव्य शाह कैसे लगते हैं आपको
बहुत बढ़िया कॉमिक
अरे वाह
मैंने भी सिमिलर जोक्स लिखे थे काफी सारे और उन्होंने भी सेम थॉट क्योंकि सेम प्रॉब्लम से गुजरे उनको भी रेटिना का प्रॉब्लम है मुझे भी रेटिना का प्रॉब्लम है सेम प्रॉब्लम से हम लोग दोनों सफर कर रहे हैं तो सेम जोक्स थे काफी सारे
और हामी यो अभिनव म ट्याक्क गेम खेले यो इन गेम थियो इन्भाइट गरेको गेममा मरेछ अनि गेम छोडेर गयो एक गेम पनि खेल्दैन सँगै हामी
तो आप जैसे आपने देखा भव्य शाह भी हैं उनको भी कंडीशन है तो आपको कहीं जलन नहीं होती कि बहन जो मेरे जैसा और एक आ गया टाइप्स
हम सबको दिखा देंगे साथ मिलकर
इनसेन यार व्हाई डोंट मूव टू मुंबई एंड यहां पे इतने सारे ओपन माइक्स होते हैं कभी प्लान दैट
या मैं कर रहा हूं कोशिश बस ऐसे बढ़िया करता हूं मन तो है आ जाऊंगा मुंबई में
आप जब भी मुंबई आए और आपको कोई मटेरियल की जरूरत हो या कोई स्क्रिप्ट की जरूरत हो तो प्लीज मीट मी अपन लिखने के साथ में डेफिनेटली आई वुड लव टू हेल्प यू प्लीज
थैंक यू सो मच
ये ऐसे बोल के खुद लिखवा लेंगे आपसे बता रहा हूं आप 29 फेब को क्या कर रहे हैं मेरे लिए स्क्रिप्ट लिखेंगे
मैं तो कुछ ऑफर नहीं कर सकता हूं बट मैं आपका दोस्त बनना चाहता हूं बस।
अरे वुड लव टू बी योर फ्रेंड सर
तुझे बस उसका ब्लास्ट रेडियस देखना है तुषार भाई आप क्या करते हैं
पढ़ाई कर रहा हूं मैं
क्या पढ़ रहे हो
एमए इंग्लिश लिटरेचर
एनी रीजन आपने एमए इंग्लिश चुना
क्योंकि बहुत लिमिटेड चीजें कर सकता हूं मैं ऐसे मतलब ऐसे भव्य भाई को देखो मैथमेटिक्स ही कर रहा है एकदम ऐसे मैंने तो ऑप्शन में निकाल दिया था क्योंकि ऐसे कैलकुलेट
सही बात है
मैं मेरे मैथ्स के मेरे को 10th में कंपलसरी था मैथ्स तो उसमें कंस्ट्रक्शन बनाने का उसमें लिख के वंदा 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 ऐसे लिखा है
तू है शो पे अगर जीता नहीं तो भाई तो कुशाल मैन इनसे आई डोंट वांट लेट यू गो बट वी आर रनिंग आउट ऑफ टाइम मेक्स नॉट कुशाल वन मोर टाइम मैन तो शुरू करते हैं ड्रो भाई से
भाई if I could give you more than 10 I would so I'll give you 10 but अगर 11 को
नहीं बता सकता कुछ भी
हां राइट कैसे जिता सकते हैं कोई समय कोई टैक्टिक्स है
भाई लास्ट टाइम
हां मतलब
भव्य शाह लास्ट भाई शो आई नो यू फील लाइक यू शुड विन दैट्स व्हाट आई फील बट अगर हम ऐसे जिताएं तो दैट्स अनफेयर टू अदर पीपल सो लेट्स लीव इट ऑन द लक ओके लास्ट टाइम भव्य शाह गेम डिस्ट्रॉयड बाय डिडंट विन यू नो लेट्स कीप इट रियल जो है वो है भाई ठीक है तो कितना दिया आपने भाई 10 आपने भी 10
मैंने 9
तो मैनेज करने के लिए मैं 8 देना चाहूंगा
10 हाँ तो
भाई स्कोर करने से पहले मेरी आंखों में देखो
तो
भाई मत देखो भाई डर जाओगे नहीं यार
तो मैंने दिया आपको 8 तो दैट मेक्स योर एवरेज 9
नहीं माने कौन था भाई डिवाइड कर लिया पैसे
Oh my god
थैंक यू भाई
crazy man
फाइनल में आ रहा हूं
हाँ भाई
फाइनल में आ रहा हूं
हाँ अरे भाई तो you are the final guy भाई we have a standing ovation in front of you
क्या बात है थैंक यू गाइस प्लीज अ लॉट गाइस
so goosebumps
Congratulations, my wife. I hope this is the start of something very big in your life. Don't stop. Just keep at it. Fuck anything in it for you. I love you.
Thank you, big fans.
Thank you.
पैसे मिल गए गुजराती
क्या बात है?
Bad show यार.
Crazy यार. बहुत कमाल. बहुत
Come on, come on.
talented.
भागे यार क्यों यार whatever you do, you'll never be me. You'll never be lucky as me in this seal department. Whatever. Not एवढा extra, दुईटा extra big pot. Not एवढा.
Welcome to r/Am I the Butthole, where OP might be dating a child molester. Am I the butthole for breaking off my engagement with my fiance because of his creepy comments towards my 14-year-old sister? I'm a 21-year-old woman, and I'm in a tough situation. I'm not sure if I'm overreacting, so I need some outside perspective. I've been with my fiance, Charles, who's 35. Yo, OP is 20 and he's 35. Okay. Yo, it's almost double her age. Wow. For about 2 years, and everything seemed fine until recently. A few weeks ago, my 14-year-old sister, Amy, came to stay with us for just a few days while our parents
I can't believe it. After Nvidia and AMD just completely abandoned the sub-$300 price point, or gave us intentionally nerfed options, Intel has finally done it. They released the first good budget GPU in over 5 years. It doesn't cut any corners. It's got 12 gigs of VRAM, which means that new games like Indiana Jones will run properly. It's relatively efficient, and best of all, it's got raw performance that beats the RTX 4060 handily at both 1080p and 1440p. If I had scripted Intel's press conference for this thing, it probably would have gone something like this. It's been a difficult journey to get here for Team Blue. Their first generation had famously buggy drivers, with some games running poorly, or even not at all, which led to such low sales figures that the department has been the subject of near constant speculation that it would be cut. But believe it or not, they have squashed most of the bugs. Most of them. We'll talk about that later. First, the TI. TLDR. Last time, we asked viewers to consider buying Intel Arc because we were desperate for them to emerge as a disruptor in the GPU duopoly. This time, we're asking you to consider Intel Arc because it's freaking awesome to the point where I would say that it is the only choice for gamers who want to spend $450 to $700 on a tower, or for those folks who have waited so patiently for an upgrade to their faithful GTX 1660 or 10 series.
It's time to bag up that old GPU. Wait, don't out yet. Let me out. Oh no. Sell to our sponsor, Jawa, instead.
Why let your old hardware collect dust when it can collect cash? Check out Jawa below and get an extra $10 on top of your base offer until the end of this year. Let's start at 1080p, where AMD and Nvidia are more than happy to gouge you for the luxury of being able to play. First up, Night City. In Cyberpunk, the B580 makes an impressive debut running neck and neck with the 4060 Ti 16 gig, a card that retails for $450. You heard me, this one is 80% more expensive. And check out the B580's direct competition, the $300 4060 and the $250 RX 7600. They're behind by nearly 15%. And Intel's lead increases in Red Dead Redemption 2, where their improvements to Vulkan support have lifted the fortunes of even their last generation cards and brought the B580 in line with the 7700 XT, a $400 GPU. This kind of utter dominance, though, isn't across the board. In The Last of Us Part 1, the B580 falls back in line, but then even this poor result has them beating Nvidia and AMD's current generation price competitors. In F123, AMD takes the lead, but they've historically performed really well on the track, and in the old but gold shadow of the Tomb Raider, the B580 barely inches past the RTX 4060 in average FPS and loses in 1% lows, which we classify as a loss. In Returnal, the B580 is neck and neck with the 4060 Ti and the 6700 XT, only taking a clear L from the 7700 XT, which, again, I remind you, is a $400 card. And then finally in Atomic Heart, the B580 sales lose some of their glorious win, but hey, the most expensive card on the charts was bound to win at least one game, wasn't it? Looking at the overall picture, Intel, you've outdone yourself. You've pulled off a commanding generational uplift of 55% and beaten your old flagship even by more than 20%. You've fallen shy of the 4060 Ti, but the bottom line is, if gamers out there are looking to upgrade their aging GPUs for high refresh rate 1080p gaming, you've given us something to finally recommend to them. Not just point at the least worst thing, but to recommend to them. This is a truly incredible achievement for Intel, and they did a lot to make it happen. Their new BMG G21 SoC, interestingly, they don't call it a GPU, leaves no stone unturned in the search for performance improvements. They've jumped to a new process node and made several architectural and driver overhauls that Intel claims gave them a 70% improvement in performance per core and a 50% energy improvement over last gen. Which makes me wonder, why did they hold back? If 20 Xe2 cores is good, then 32 cores on a B770 would be better. Speaking of bigger, nearly 37% of Steam users are gaming at a resolution that is greater than 1080p these days, and that number keeps growing as 1440p and 4K monitors continue to come down in price. So can Intel compete at 1440p as well? The short answer is yes. Across our suite of benchmarks, the B580 overtakes the RX 6700 XT and narrows the gap with the 4060 Ti to just a few percent. As for Intel's promised 10% lead over the 4060, well, it appears they were actually being modest. Across our game selection, we found a lead of 20%, though it is worth noting that this will vary depending on game selection. Starting with the famously VRAM-hungry Last of Us Part 1, the B580 holds its position on our chart, embarrassing Nvidia again, with the B580's 1% lows besting the 4060's average FPS. Shadow of the Tomb Raider demonstrates just what an incredible generational leap Intel's pulled off here, and it seems like something about Returnal really likes Intel, because all of our Team Blue cards got a nice little bump in the rankings. I'm kind of running out of ways to say Intel's doing well, so in Red Dead Redemption 2, Intel did bloopy, and in Cyberpunk, they blompinated the competition, while making it glaringly obvious just how do the 1060 and the 1650 were for a valid, modern 1440p upgrade. With strong, if not mind-blowing performance in both Atomic Heart and F123, it's clear that Intel has achieved what they set out to do. Made a killer value 1080p gaming card that's also capable of 1440p. There are some caveats. Even Intel admits that they don't win in every game, and a motherboard with support for resizable bar is mandatory for RGBUs. And the B580 isn't a top-of-the-line benchmark buster, so if you have a higher-tier older card like a 3060 Ti, you shouldn't feel compelled to upgrade here. But as far as downsides go, those are pretty minor, and there's more to like than just the raw performance. Let's talk about ray tracing, which is a little more relevant these days all of a sudden than it used to be.
Especially when you consider that games are starting to list ray tracing as a minimum requirement. While we didn't have time to develop a test for our boy Indy, we did check out the RT performance in a few other games. Triacle is also a significant performance. L-supported R2 tech allows them to beat the B580 in a big way in Atomic Heart at 1080p. In Returnal, the B580 catches right back up to the 4060 Ti, but falls back into the pack in F123. Overall, you can have a solid plus 60 FPS ray trace gaming experience, assuming you're willing to fiddle with the settings just a little. Speaking of which, also setting to 1440p. Beyond ray tracing, the entire lot, 60 FPS in anyway. But the extra VRAM on the B580 earns it a sizable lead over the 4060 in Returnal and in F123, even if it can't pull out a win in Atomic Heart. AMD's RX 70.
स्वेटी प्लेयर हो के भन्या कस्तो what the fuck bro केले हेले त्यसले त्यस्तो भने क्या मेरो चाहिँ एम लाग्दैन उसको चाहिँ फुटु फुटु एम लाग्ने रे एक्सपेक्टेड हानौँ त पहिला क्यान्सल गरौँ एक्सपेक्टेड गरौँ या that guy had scar as well त्यही भएर त्यस्तो बुट्या थियो नत्र म त्यति छिटो बुटिन त नपर्ने
It's basically crying in the corner trying to figure out why it's even here. And if you're wondering where the flagship ray tracing title Cyberpunk is, well, we had some Intel problems. It seems to not like running at ultra ray tracing settings on CPUs with 3D cache. But before you start haranguing Intel about game compatibility, they are aware, and they are working on it. Look, Mom, we made the patch notes. And since the launch of ARC, compatibility has massively improved. Hardwarebox recently showed in a test of 250 games that 233 were completely playable. There were still issues, and some of those were in major titles that took a lot longer to fix than we would have liked, but hopefully Intel will continue this upward trend in compatibility. Now, knowing the price and the 1440p performance numbers, you wouldn't expect this to be a 4K gaming card, and you'd be right. It's not a 4K card. Even in low settings in Cyberpunk, we don't see great frame rates.
At least, not natively. But Intel's got some more tricks up their sleeves. Desperate to not completely miss the boat on the AI boom, Intel has packed some juicy AI into the B580 in order to up its performance. Oh, I guess I'm going to talk about AI. I might as well dress the part with my tech bro vest from LTTstore.com. Intel's AI-powered render enhancement sauce comes in the form of XeSS2. XeSS2 has three main parts: an AI upscaler that renders the game at a lower resolution, then uses AI to upscale to display resolution; XeSS frame generation, which creates extra frames by interpolating visual and in-game vector data, and then taking the two frames and making a middle point to enhance animation smoothness; and a latency reduction component that helps to cancel out some of the extra latency from the aforementioned frame generation. In fewer words, they've invented Nvidia DLSS, Nvidia FrameGen, and Nvidia Reflex. And what's nice is that unlike the time that AMD invented Nvidia Reflex with NVLink Plus, Intel has implemented this in a way that the game developer takes it into the game, meaning you won't get permaban for turning it on. We're not going to be doing a deep dive into image quality at this time, but we will be looking at performance, and we will make some anecdotal remarks about image quality.
XeSS has already proven itself to be a solid upscaling technology, and XeSS2 successfully builds upon that foundation. When turning on super sampling to its highest quality level in Cyberpunk 2077 at 1440p, Intel wins in FPS thanks to the raw performance advantage that they already had, but their super resolution solution doesn't scale as well. Nvidia sees a performance uplift of 42 and 32% in the lows and averages respectively, while Intel only gets around a 20% boost. We see the same trend at 4K. The B580 doesn't gain as much performance from XeSS as Nvidia does from DLSS, but wins by just being a more powerful card. The 4060 though, it doesn't even hit 30 FPS here. But the story changes a bit in F124, the only title currently available for us to test XeSS2's FrameGen, and this is where things get wild. In this game, the upscalers are better matched, but in FrameGen, it's a blowout. Intel is introducing way more generative RAM, with performance skyrocketing to 70% over the upscaler result and double over native rendering. And it is almost indistinguishable from native rendering unless you really know what to look for. And you ignore those tire artifacts that arise from the upscaling, not the FrameGen. It's weird. It has double the FPS with barely a drop in quality. Heck, you can even get over 100 FPS at 4K with XeSS turned on. Granted, Intel probably worked pretty closely with the devs to make sure that this launch title would leave a good impression, but a good impression is a good impression.
While Intel pitched this as a gaming card first and foremost, they did include some other value adds, like their enhanced media engine that now supports more codecs than Nvidia or AMD. In modern AV1 encoding, you can see a clear generational uplift, but Intel can't quite match the speed of Nvidia's NVMe encoder. And it's worth noting here, by the way, that while AMD does compete on this chart, it does so by outputting the wrong resolution, 1920 by 1082. And yes, that is a hardware level problem. Yikes. In the more you get from the station 4, by being snatched to the ground, well, margins are pretty small. Now thanks to their optics, it led to some good old-fashioned Nvidia domination, at least on the cards that have RT cores. And interestingly, the B580 performs significantly worse than Intel's last-gen cards. Intel told us this is expected, but didn't really go into why. Our best guess then is that it's due to the relatively smaller number of XE.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the 2024 World Chess Championship match between the champion, Ding from China, and the challenger, Gukesh from India. This is game number 14 out of 14, and if somebody wins today, we have either a retaining world champion or the youngest world chess champion in history. Let's get into it. That's about all I have to say. Very quickly, I've actually been talking about a lot of things that are upcoming. Speaking specifically tomorrow is Chess League 2.0. But I'm also very excited to announce we got a lot of stuff on the way. I'm going on tour. I'm going on tour in Europe in May 2025. So I'm going to put a link in the description if you want to get tickets. Tickets are already available for Brussels, London, and I believe Munich. And we're going to add a few more cities. So see you in Europe. It's going to be awesome. I'm going to invite people on stage. We're going to do live guest Elo. It's going to be incredible. That's all I have to add. Listen, folks, it's just a period of a lot of cool stuff coming. You know, we got Chess League on the way. We got a tour now on the way. It's a big thing, you know.
Why do you have the name of any website from there?
And there's a
के
big
रे
question as to what type of
राम्स त नेपाली सुन्ने यार के चेन्ज गरेर सोच्छस् डु यु हेभ एनी ब्ला 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 के सोध्या डाइरेक्ट सोध्यो
He plays knight f3 because the last time that he played knight f3, he won. And after d5, he played c4, which was kind of like a English ready type of thing. And then black responded with, e6 and a pawn push to the d3. This time, Ding plays g3. So this is the third or fourth time in this match that we are seeing Ready, which is just kind of showing you that this is the best way to get a game at the top level. The test shows up prepared with an opening idea. Against the Ready, g6 is very standard. We saw Ding play this, and I've already talked about this in these recaps. This is the meta strategy because black gets the bishop there, and because black has not developed the knight, black sees the center, so black's trying to go d5. So the best move here, according to the computer, is to go here, and now you play a position of symmetry, and black basically argues, haha, I tricked you into symmetry. You know the copycat game? Like, the way you were undefeated as a child in school is if you just started copying people. It didn't matter who they were. They would be like, stop copying me, I'm stupid. Like, even if they tried to insult themselves, and you were like, why are you calling yourself stupid? You win. You guys know this. I mean, half the audience here is like under 10 years old. I'm just kidding. But the comment section for sure. And so, you look at a position like that, and you're like, well, maybe symmetry's good, I don't know. Gukesh goes c5 though. He's not interested in symmetry. And he plays like this. We have bishop g2, knight c6. And this is the approach by black, where black kind of is like, well, if white plays, slowly, I get the whole center. You can't give black the whole center. You can't do this. This is silly. So Ding plays d4, which is the most principled move. Gukesh now plays d6, which is kind of weird because he's not developing his bishop, he's not developing his knight. But the idea becomes very clear very quickly as Ding plays like this. And now Gukesh shows his opening preparation and plays something that has basically never been played before. I've never seen this in my life, ever. And it's very, very cool. Like, again, is Ding going to take a lot of risk or not? It seems that he's going to play a position where he has minimal risk. And he's going to try to put a little bit of pressure and maybe be able to game out into a drawing good match. That's sort of what it seems like. Like, we haven't seen a game decided in the World Championship in Classical in like 20-something years, the final game. So here Gukesh takes on d4, and I'm going to show you his opening idea. It's not to develop the knight to f6. It's also not to play bishop c5, which is by far the most popular move in the position. To immediately put pressure, try to get white into a position like this, where white is going to use his bishop. All very, very, very standard ideas. Gukesh plays knight e7. What? So the point is that he basically wants to be able to have a knight there. He doesn't want white to take and get this typical pressure. Okay, e7. This has never been played at high level. Never. Less than 10 games in total in the database, because it's such a weird move. Ding plays very principled move, play c4. Spends 13 minutes on it. I mean, I guess he could even play e4 here, to be honest. He was probably just deciding what to do. Like, is he going to play for this? Play c4 because somebody
मैले झन् शिल्ड पनि हाने थिएँ यार हिन्दी डब्ड हेर्ने कुनै वेबसाइट देशी सिनेमास सर्च गर
not let white get a typical position and replace the knight on c6. They got a lot of the disadvantages. His king is sort of stuck on the first rank, but Gukesh has to be careful. And what I mean by be careful is, he can play f4, but let's not forget, like, this is a draw. Even if you have one pawn and you're going to try to promote it, you can't. Also, here you lose the bishop. But let's just say I don't have that. Like, let's just say, it's still a draw. Like, it ultimately is still a draw. So Gukesh has to be patient. He's going to wait. He's going to keep asking questions and bleeding the clock. And now Ding has 12 minutes, and now Ding has 9 minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's getting low on time. And here comes Gukesh's king. He's doing everything right. Everything. He's doing everything completely right. And from this point, let's say, we get rook a4. You can't really rush in with a move like bishop d5 because even this is a draw. It's just a draw. The king can never get close. So Gukesh is going to probably need to, like, I don't know. He can try to get his bishop to the e4 square. He can attack this bishop enough. Like, if Gukesh gets his bishop to the e4 square, for example, well, then he has some winning chances, right? Because then he's going to get a pass pawn, and then he's going to get some winning chances. And now is the move of the 2024 World Championship. And I don't really know what else to say. I'm going to show you this. When I saw this move, my heart sank into my stomach. I have a lot of mixed emotions about this move. The move's rook f2. And this machine doesn't even see, like, it's going to take a second. But the move is rook f2 offering a trade of rooks. And the thing is, this move also offers a trade of bishops. And the endgame is just lost. The endgame is lost. It's lost. It's a king and pawn endgame, which sometimes is a draw. If the white king could get here, it's a draw. If it's black's move in this position, it's a draw because black cannot make any progress. Because king d5, I just follow the king around. But in this endgame, it's opposition. King e3, king e5, we have the same position, but here, I have to do this. And you might have just seen that spoiler, because yeah, Ding resigned. In a position where, of course, he was under pressure. Of course, Gukesh was putting pressure and everything, but Gukesh he didn't have like a direct winning plan. He was going to put pressure obviously on the clock, and Ding himself voluntarily trades the rooks, which also leads to a bishop trade. Gukesh couldn't compose himself. You should have seen the video. You should go watch the live stream. Gukesh gets up, he's smiling. I mean, can you imagine? You should go win the world championship out of nowhere. And Gukesh, like a surgeon, trades off the pieces, puts the kings, which is honestly symbolic because when a game finishes at high level, the players put the kings in the center on the boards to indicate who won. And the final move of the 2024 World Chess Championship is Gukesh literally putting the king in the center of the board. And he is now the youngest ever World Chess Champion. And the reason why I'm having mixed emotions about this is it happened out of nowhere. It was heading for a draw. There was going to be more games tomorrow. And to lose a world championship like this is mind-blowing. It's mind-blowing. I still can't figure out and I don't think I'm going to be the last person. We're going to get insights from Magnus, Hikaru, all the Indian Grandmasters, Anish Giri, who's like honorary Indian Grandmaster, like Nepo, I'm sure he's going to chime in. Absolutely crazy stuff. And congratulations to Gukesh. He's the youngest ever World Chess Champion at 18 years old. And I have a feeling he's going to have a target on his back because a lot of top Grandmasters over the last few weeks, any of you have been watching any recaps, folks have been critical of this match. So if you're a fan of Gukesh, if you're a fan of any other top player, I think we have a really interesting World Championship circuit to come, including Ordinary Icy. We may be close to an all-Indian World Championship. Can you imagine? This is crazy stuff. This is absolutely, I cannot believe the final game ended like this. I'm still
So me and whatever 57010, the GT5, GT4 as well, content creator, have just played GT rounds at GT Gets and now gonna have a yap about pretty much everything. It's nice to be talking to you after all these years, man. Like, how long's it been? Like,
I've been subscribed to you since you had 11k subscribers.
Wow.
I even remember giving you shoutouts when you had less subscribers than I had.
Long time ago. I'm looking at our Twitter now. I just scrolled back. It was July 27, 2019. I messaged you and said, hey, just thought I would float this by you in case you were interested. But would you be interested in some cross promotion? You're the only GT channel I watch, and I really like what you do, especially as it's given significance from my own content. You seem to like my content as well, so I thought we were both promoting each other at the end of our more popular videos. I would like to give 30 seconds, 30 seconds shout out to your all possibilities videos. Yeah, what video did I end up putting that in? But yeah, that was I think the first time we like directly talked. Unless we did some comments, that's 5 years ago, man. God damn. Happy to see you still around.
I'm fly.
I'm happy to be around myself. Do you plan to play GTA 6 and make content out of it, even when it's on console?
Yeah, I mean, I am planning to probably buy a console and play it when it releases. And obviously I will also make content about it. I'm kind of angry about all the rumors that it will cost $150 when it releases.
Yeah, I'm skeptical, but that's going to be the case. I suspect that Rockstar wants to get as many people on board as possible because they're just going to do the microtransaction stuff for GTA Online again. And if people are going to do $150, less people are going to play the game, less microtransactions.
Yeah, exactly. They will have as many people on board and then do like horrible online in-game economy where every car is like $5 million or whatever.
Do you think it's going to be a different form of microtransaction economy than was in the first GTA Online? Because Rockstar was one of the first companies with the always existent online games that had microtransactions. It's fairly simple by comparison to like the loot boxes and actual like cash shops that you have in games these days. Do you think Rockstar will stick the same formula to work before? Or do you think it will just get worse as the companies go forward?
The current system is kind of weird, like they don't want most assets and so on. So this is bad.
I am just fucked in this game. म केही गर्न सकेको छैन यार.
Which is also a more consistent revenue stream than the one.
September 15th, 2008. The world is in the middle of a financial crisis. Honda, the Japanese Formula One team, is on the verge of collapse.
The whole team will be closed down with the loss of 800 British jobs.
But behind the scenes, a man ignited a silent revolution that would change Formula One forever. This gentleman, who started as an ordinary mechanic, bought the Honda team for only £1. Ross Brawn, a true legend of the sport, motivated himself to save the 800 Honda employees and win the championship. An ambitious dream, don't you think? But 1 year later, his dream became reality. And now you're watching the story of Brawn GP. It all began in early 2008 when Honda decided to hire Ross Brawn. He had been Ferrari's technical director alongside Schumacher. When Ferrari's golden era ended, Ross was looking for a new challenge.
Brawn, the most successful technical director in recent years, has joined Honda as team principal. Ross, welcome to the team.
Thank you. Very pleased to be here.
Hasn't middled this, has not middled this, and Curtin has given it away. Get back, get back. This has been put down. It's impossible to be dropped. That comes right off the toe end of the bat. Reefer's underneath it, and oh no. There's the sweep. It was always going to come out. That's the other way around, but well fielded.
Jordan White reverse swept. It's a good effort. Carried, comfortable height.
Just out of reach for that backward point again, but they certainly are busy.
मलाई चिया एकदमै मन पर्छ अनि चिया मायाको चिया एकदमै मिठो पनि छ हैन एकदम बेस्ट नै छ चिया मायाको चिया काठमाडौँ भरिकै बेस्ट चिया हो अनि चिया मायाको चिया मायामा चिया मात्र हैन नेपाली खाजाहरु पनि पाउँछ बटुक सेलहरु पनि पाउँछ अनि चिया मायाको आउटलेटै झन्सीखेल र पानी पोखरी दुई ठाउँमा पनि छ
One who looks reverse sweep.
About 6.5 runs and over, picking up the odd boundary. Good rotation of the strikers. This is swept again, and it's swept well. Races away for another boundary.
This has come off top edge. Edward shakes two, but it's going to be a catching chance.
Wicket coming in at a crucial time as this goes high up in the air. Didn't quite have the distance. He didn't middle it. Michael Lees takes a very good catch in the deep. 19 off 16 for Nicholas Curtin.
It's a good stroke. Beats the man at cover and beats the man in the deep. Look at that. Unplayable.
Pure adrenaline.
Use of the feet. Gets a good piece of it. Gets it all the way. Running hard again. Just be a single. Oh yes. Oh, what a shot that is. That'll be a one. Close, close and given. At the perfect time. The captain traps the big player.
He did indeed. Much needed wicket there. Bertel for 45 from just 35 deliveries. A top knock.
Oh, it's gone. Out the ground. Slower ball. Pace taken off. He's deceived him. This should be out. It is. The change of pace works again for the man from the Caribbean.
Absolutely, you can see they were trying to play him through that offside. Over extra, but clever bowling from Reefer. Chris Sol goes for 7.
Squirted away for 4. Wide called. No, no, can you believe it? What is going on?
Indeed, Pokhara sacrificing himself for 4.
No, hasn't got hold of the full toss. It's been palmed away for 4. Not the match, that's a good innings.
Yeah, that's been said. It almost carried it well. Yeah, that's more like it. That's in the gap. Don't bother running. That'll be the first boundary from the bat of house. That's right, Sri. He's taking the attack to the opposition. Oh, put something on the way and it's a 4 again. Edged. Turn up in the circle, 4 more.
Sometimes pace can be your friend. Sometimes it can be your enemy as well.
This could be closer. Was there an inside edge? I'll tell you what, this has got enough legs maybe to go for another 4. Yeah, easy pickings over here. That was shot.
Swipe across the line. Got.
Oh, just wide of the field and midwicket. Acrobatic effort. That could have been a spectacular catch. Elegant. Beautifully played.
Just allow the ball to come to him.
That's over mid off. Straight back. And has it been put down? Oh dear. Leading edge, tries to catch it, gets his man. Gets a reprieve, 1 ball before this, and comes back to take the wicket of Paudel.
And that's 1 wicket down now. Dinesh Paudel goes for 11 of 10. It was strange innings.
Oh, this is an incredible shot. Works into the line of the ball, and this time he's safe. He's off the mark.
Andrew's house.
That's a great shot.
He's tried a few times, and this time he's going to be back-to-back boundaries.
Gone. Massive, massive moment. It needed to be now. It needed to be Pratish GC. It is the big fish. It is Andrew's close.
Bolden chopped it on.
Pratish GC yet again.
Malik's a bit unlucky because it's kept low, hasn't it? The Kings are well and truly in this contest.
In the middle comes to an end. 4.
He's at an under edge. Yes, Bertel doesn't even wait for the decision. Off he trudges. It's Sol. It's Edwards. The Kings. Are they now on top?
Got himself in. Played nicely. Good job, Bertel.
Oh, how close is this? Full, straight, gone. Sol got a hat-trick. The Kings have turned this game on its head.
looks for the order. That's in the air, and that's over mid-wicket as well. Going forward. Nicely driven. That's in the gap as well. That's 4. Firmly struck down the ground. Desperate dive, Emilov fails to stop that.
But can she continue to smile?
Slow delivery, nicely bowled. Smart bowling. He's taken that on the full. I'm not quite sure he's got that on it. Yes, he's got plenty enough. Through him. Strikes Scottish GC. He's been the best bowler for the Virat Kings for a reason. And once again in the death he comes and gets the wicket when it matters the most. Knocks him over as Michael Lees has to walk back.
He's gone for 11 or 12 balls.
What a delivery, what an over. He's got stuck underneath this one, goes down on his knee and he gets the distance as well. He's bowled well. Oh, he's not taking the run. This means you need 7 of the final delivery. Has he got the distance on this one? Yes, he's got a distance. We're heading into a super over. Yeah, what an innings for 34 of 23. They got 13 runs. They needed 14 and that man Batter Ahmed. He's only 300 but he's got 3 for the 2 6 and unbeaten innings of 34 that got them to the super over. It's super over time.
What the fuck is this?
He's so good in that region. And he begins with a 6 as well. Well start. This one's even higher. Carlton coming underneath. This one goes over him. Back-to-back 6s. Nicely bowled. He gets a single. Will they push for the second? Oh, that's a 4. Is it the boundary? Yes, it is. It's going one way at the moment. Not much Lamichan can do. Here goes for the reverse sweep. Nicely fielded. They'll only get a single. 18 runs. The Avengers gets in the super over. And this means that the Virat Kings, when they come out to bat, they lead 19. They have the momentum with them. He's the great man, Martin Guptill. Here we go. Ball number 1. Reef for Martin Guptill. You're all set for ball 1. Reef was aiming in. This is up in the air. Long off coming underneath this one. Just falls short of him. Yeah, misses the full delivery. The low full toss comes in so handy. Takes it on the full this time. Almost carried to long on. Yeah, that's on the pads. The Avengers emerge victorious in the super over. And it's the superstar, Raymond Reaper, who's given the Avengers a super match this afternoon. All right for this man. Raymond Reaper got the runs with the bat in the chase to get them into the super over. Got the runs in the super over as well. And then bowled that super over 2 to defend 18 and give away only 5. What a star he is.
Few days while our parents were out of town. During her stay, I started noticing some really unsettling things. At first, I thought that I was imagining it, but Charles started making comments that made me feel incredibly uncomfortable. He would call my sister so hot and would say things like, "You're gonna turn heads when you're older," and "You got such a body on you already." The worst part was when he said, "I'd be jealous if I were your boyfriend. Every guy will be looking at you soon." I tried to ignore it at first, but it kept happening, and I began to feel sick to my stomach. Then, one evening, I overheard him telling a friend on the phone, "Amy's got that look now. It's like she's starting to bloom." It was honestly one of the creepiest things I've ever heard. I felt like I was losing my mind, and I just knew that I couldn't stay in that relationship anymore. I confronted him about his behavior, and he immediately got defensive. He denied it and said that I was being paranoid and that I should trust him. He insisted that he was just being nice and that I was overreacting. I didn't care. I packed my things, broke off my engagement, and moved back in with my parents. Now, my friends and some family members are telling me that I overreacted. They say that I should have talked it out with him first, but I don't see how that would have changed anything. You know what's crazy about this is if you give the dude in the story the most insane benefit of the doubt and assume that the 14-year-old girl is actually, I don't even know, 24, and he were talking about a 24-year-old sister this way, that would still be grounds for breaking up. Just constantly drooling over your fiance's sister is wildly inappropriate. But then you add in the fact that she's 14 and not 24, and that just multiplies the grossness by like times 10. So OP, don't just drop the fiance, drop all the friends who are defending him too. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving him 4 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for refusing to share my biological kid's funds with my stepchildren? I'm a 40-year-old woman, and I have a 17-year-old son. We lost his dad when I was 28. It was hard for us. We didn't have time to build a massive fortune, but from his insurance and other investments, I created a trust fund for my son, and the money there is around $150,000. I've done well career-wise, and I'm employed at a government job. It's a secure job until the age of 60, it pays decently, and I live an upper-middle-class lifestyle. I met my new husband when I was 30, and he was 32 during some event. We connected from day one, and a year later we got married. My husband has twins, a 15-year-old boy and girl. Their mother is involved in their life, and my husband made it clear from day one that our children's finances will be kept separate. We share grocery, necessities, and clothing funds, but savings and school fees are kept separately. We also own our separate homes. I'm currently living at his house and renting out my own. The money that I make from rent is used exclusively on whole family travels. My son and his kids get along fine, but they don't call us parents or each other's siblings. We also have a daughter together who's 7. Also, I save a lot for our young daughter, as she won't have my son's trust fund, and I want to secure her future.
कान्छ भन्नु यतिकै बसेको कान्छ अहिले अब एक्जाम छ भोलि पढ्न गर्न बसेको हजुर हजुर खाना खाएँ
The recent issue is that my son currently has
के भयो क्यारियर त्यसले र
पासवर्ड रिसेट भयो के यता
ल रुक्नु है म हेर्दिन्छु के छ उस कोड यहाँ त्यही हो मेरो रुक्नु म हेर्छु यहाँ यसले केमा हो इमेल युज गरेको कुनै मलाई उ आइरहेको थियो के भन्छ मेल आइरहेको थियो योर प्रसिद्धको अकाउन्ट हैज बीन युज्ड इन थर्ड पार्टी दिस देन प्रसिद्धको अकाउन्ट यो ब्लक के भन्दै थियो त्यसलाई फोन हान्छु भन्दै थिएँ मैले केमा युज गरेको त्यसले कुनै कान्छ आएन मलाई के कोड ए आ रहेछ 071 7 अनि 60 067 071760 071760 ओए प्रसिद्ध तैँले तेरो इमेल कहाँ युज गरेछस् कुन्नी थर्ड पार्टी युज दिस भनेर मलाई के नाना त थरी इमेल आइरहे त्यो चाहिने ठाउँ मात्रै युज गरे यताउति नचाहिने ठाउँ युज गरिछ भने तेरो इमेल ब्लक हानिदिन्छ गुगलले फेरि कुन्नी आइरा हुन्छ तेरो रेगुलरली आइरा हुन्छ तेरो यो हजुर
01 चाहिँ टेक्स्ट मेसेज पठाल्छु भन्छ 01 नम्बर तेरो हो
कहाँ 01 हुन्छ र मसँग 01 म
ले 0.4 पठाउने छ तोकिएको शुल्क लाग्छ अरे
त्यो शुल्क त केही लाग्दैन त्यो उस देखाएन के भने म फोटो पठाउनु त तपाईकोबाट
अब आज
त्यो 01 त लास्टमा 01 भएको त्यसकै फोन नम्बर राखेको थिएँ मैले रिकभरी त्यहाँ त्यसको त्यो घडी यहाँ राख्थ्यो है त्यसले त्यही नम्बर राखिदिएको मैले त कि मेलमा मेरो मेलमा आउने रिकभरी कि चाहिँ त्यसको घडी यहाँ आउने हो paudeladrin@gmail.com PAUDEL paudeladrin@gmail.com gmail.com पकाउने हानेहरू त्यो भाँडा माझ्न चाहिँ 744900 हजुर अब 815 मा आखिर त्यो कोड अब नयाँ कोड आउने हो कि ए ल नयाँ आयो 347652 347652
घण्टापछि पौडेल एड्रिन@gmail-मा एउटा साइन इन लिंक पठाइनेछ यो अनुरोध गर्ने व्यक्ति तपाईं नै हो भन्ने कुरा पुष्टि गर्न गुगलले केही समय चाहन्छ थप जान्नुहोस्
यस्तो त्यसको इमेल चाइल्ड इमेल छ अनि प्यारेन्ट अकाउन्ट चाहिँ मेरो राखेको छु त्यही भएर चाहिँ त्यसले केही चेन्ज गर्न खोज्दाखेरि चाहिँ अनि टाइम माग्ने होला यस्तो छोरछोरीले ट्याक्क आइप्याड बाबामा के भन्छ कोड हेरेर झ्याप्प चेन्ज गर्न खोज्यो भने भनेर चाहिँ टाइम राखे होला नि बाबामाले पछि देखेर फेरि क्यान्सल गर्ने हो भने अड्छन् नत्र पासवर्ड चेन्ज गर्न दिन्छन् भनेर होला सायद अब मैले बुझे अनुसार के काला हात तुरी परेको र त्यसलाई के हो कुन्नी
डकुमेन्टेसन बिहान के पासवर्ड भन्छ मेरो के इमेलको पासवर्ड के भयो खुदै पुगेन अनि यसको लगइन गर्दा यसकोमा सामर आइदिन के भनेर लाग्यो यसको पनि के भन्छ त्यही भयो
ए अब त्यो त्यसको के भन्छ अब एज नपुइन्जेलसम्म गुगलले यस्तै गर्छ यो नर्मली हाम्रो नेपालमा भन्दा पनि विदेशमा चाहिँ अब यो के भन्छ बच्चालाई नदिने भन्ने टाइपले यो कन्ट्रोल गर्छ नि त गभर्नमेन्टले त्यसले गर्दाखेरि यो बच्चाको अकाउन्ट चाहिँ अति स्ट्रिक्ट बनाएको हुन्छ कि त्यसलाई मैले पासवर्ड याद गरेर राख सबै नोट गरेर राख भनेर सबैको पासवर्ड त्यसलाई नै भनेर छोडेको के रे अब
आइप्याड र टिभी मोबाइलमा त्यस्तै एक दिन आइप्याड हेरेको थियो कहाँ गयो मलाई हराइरहन्छ यहाँ लुकाइ भनेर बस्नु खाना खाइस् बाबु
खाना त खाइसके अरू ठिकै छ
तनी ल केही छैन त्यस्तै त्यही सोध्छु भनेर फेरि फोन त भन्छ मम्मी एडिटीको लागि आउनु परेन अहिले काठमाडौँ
मम्मी उपलो काटेर बस्नुहुन्छ कसरी आउने आउन मिल्छ मामु यसपालि साह्रै जाडो छ भनेको म उम्ला काटिछु म तँलाई पकाउनलाई आउनु अहिले भनेर ल्याइदिनु हो उस्तै हो उस्तै अरू केही छैन ल तल खान्छ
जनकपुर फेरि पहिलो स्थानमा आज डिसेम्बरको मुला कागा आएको थियो कि होइन अनि मुला कागा आएको थियो कि होइन अनि ओ म्या चिकनको मासु कहाँबाट आयो भनेर ड्याङडुङ खाइदिएको मलाई परिवार कतिले
All versus possible edition, like chocolate chunk cookies. I love these. They don't have any vanilla extract or any bad ingredients, so they should be fine to eat. What about cake? It's so big, but it doesn't seem like it has any bad ingredients, so it should be fine to eat. Can we have rotisserie chicken? I've heard in USA it's kosher, but we fast here in Canada, and it is not kosher. It's not halal, so we can't have it. When it comes to Kirkland meat, which is halal certified, we just don't know. We asked if it was machine cut or if it was halal by hand. They just don't know, so we're not going to be buying this.
What about meat lasagna?
No.
Shepherd's pie?
No.
Stuffed bell pepper?
No.
What about burrito tacos?
No, we can't have anything here with meat.
What about Kaiser salad?
Isn't it Caesar salad? And no, we can't eat it.
Why not?
Because it has Parmesan cheese.
What about their poutine and hot dogs?
So the poutine is vegetarian.
9, 10, 11.
If you are like fucking addicted to fat or something, please take my word for it. Yeah. Try matke ka party. You will be hooked on I'm a tallest friend. I am not the bride, I am her wife. I am not the bride, I'm a long distance bride. I'm not the bride, I'm her best friend. I'm not the bride, I'm her boss. I'm not the bride, I'm her best friend. I am the bride. I'm not the bride, I'm her tallest friend. I'm not the bride.
God, you ain't got shit on me. I'm on top of the world. I'm on top of the world. So I got engaged.
Excuse me? We got engaged.
So we have been together since 2018 and we decided that finally it's good time कि मेरी उम्र भी अब काफी निकलती जा रही थी और बहुत लोग पीछे भी पड़ गए थे तो हमने सोचा कि चलो ठीक है अभी सही टाइम है तो 27th November 2024 we finally
Child? I just you know to me and just child? Oh, you know.
Keep stuck. and is preparing to move next year. My husband's children has their own fund. However, the maximum that he can contribute to each child's fund is $25,000. He lost money on gambling, and his ex-wife doesn't save. My husband started saying that we should join all of our funds and is pressuring my son. My son was giving in, but I refused. I said that it was my son's inheritance from his dad, and that can't cover the loss of his father. My husband exploded and verbally abused us in anger. I also didn't hold back. He slapped me. For the first time ever in life, he hit me. We sorted out things later, but I'm not going to give up this fund. My stepchildren, who have always been cordial to me, are suddenly calling me an evil monster. These are the same kids that I prepare meals for every morning at 6 a.m. I wash their clothes and iron them. I buy them clothes and other things despite my husband barely doing these things for my son. If combined, the fund will come out to $83,000 for each. And yeah, it would still cover the Australian education for all three, but I'm not going to do that. His children also want to go to Australia now. My son said that he doesn't want my marriage to fail, and he would give away the money if it would make me happy. I said no, and I said that his future can't be compromised. I told my husband that it isn't my fault that he was careless in our 9 years of marriage. He never acted like this, and he's been giving me the cold treatment ever since. My marriage is on the verge of breaking, but I can't deny my son his rights. I know that if I say yes, he'll happily share the money, but I won't. I would rather burn, but I'm crying with the way that my man is treating me. My parents are saying that I won't find a man later and to compromise and make peace. They said the fight was a one-time thing, and we're expected to adjust. Also, I want to give him a chance as long as he stops harassing my son. My friends are saying that it's tough to find a man again when you're a widow and then divorced. Then OP posted an update, which is a bit dry, so I'll just summarize. Basically, OP decided to forgive him, and they're going to therapy. I'll read this part here. My husband admitted to the slap in front of my parents, and my old father was about to beat him. My husband apologized deeply, and he also told his family about this, who shamed him. I know that I might get labeled a doormat here, but if he's willing to work on it, then that works for me. He's trying to leave his alcohol and gambling addiction. I'll overlook his spending now and give him fun money every month for his own expenses. He decided to hand me control of most of the funds. I feel like we're going in the right direction. Also, OP mentions that the stepchildren apologized to OP. Well, OP, I hope it works out, but to be honest, I'm not super optimistic. Once things get violent, once one person in the relationship lays their hands on the other person in the relationship, I think it's dead. There's no coming back from that. So, good luck, OP. I think you're gonna need it. OP, I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm proud of you for standing up for your son. I'm giving your husband 4.5 out of 5 buttholes. The dude drinks, gambles, hits women, and tries to steal from his children. Maybe 5 out of 5 buttholes? Am I the butthole for rage quitting after I lost an election? I'm a 28-year-old woman, and I've been a member of a large volunteer organization for several years. I'm one of the longest standing members. I've spent hundreds of hours on various aspects of it. I've held small leadership positions in almost every area, and I have a large amount of experience being the president of another organization as well. When I first joined, things were not doing well, so I, along with others, worked our butts off to improve that, and we did. In fact, we did so well with improving the atmosphere that we had a massive amount of incoming members who quickly became very close with each other, something we specifically encouraged, and who had absolutely no idea how bad things used to be, or how much behind-the-scenes work it takes to maintain the way things are now. I ran for president in the most recent election. I ran against 5 other candidates. 4 of us had years of experience and had been preparing our campaign for months, if not years. One person, Alex, was extremely new, like a few weeks, and had 0 experience at all. And he decided to run last minute and had a very large friend group with other new members. Alex was barely allowed to run due to how new they were, but made the cut by a handful of days. You can see where this was going. The vote was extremely close between me and Alex, and I lost by 1 vote. The rest of the elected officials were all new members of the same friend group, also without experience. Then it was discovered that 9 to 10 votes, specifically the votes of other people in leadership positions who worked closely with me, were not counted. This wasn't intentional or malicious, simply a computer error. Apparently, every single one of those uncounted people voted for me. Technically, I won. They tried to get the election results overturned because of it, but higher-ups wouldn't allow it because they feared that it would look like favoritism. At the end of the day, I was told to keep quiet and not let anyone know about this. That brings me to my current situation. Because nobody on the new executive team has any experience, I started facing a lot of pressure to take on a lower leadership position solely to guide them and ensure our hard work doesn't go to hell. I absolutely refused. In fact, I decided to drop all leadership roles and do absolutely nothing this year. This has led to multiple people telling me that I don't truly care about the organization, that I'll be responsible if it falls apart, etc. I feel like it's a slap in the face to expect me to do what a president does without the title to show it. Am I the butthole for dropping all leadership positions and letting the new team do whatever the hell they want to do? You know, actually, it will be the president of the organization's fault if everything goes to hell. OP, this is just people trying to guilt trip you to get free labor out of you. And you've already given enough free labor, so do what you want to do. I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for refusing to babysit my deceased best friend's kids after her husband's betrayal? My best friend Emma passed away from cancer 2 years ago. We were like sisters. She was my maid of honor, I was hers. When she was diagnosed, I was her primary caregiver, helping her through chemo and spending every possible moment with her. Her husband, Mike, was a different story. During her treatment, I discovered that he was having an affair with a coworker. Emma knew, but was too sick to deal with the drama. After she died, I confronted Mike, telling him that he was a disgrace. He begged me to keep it from the kids, who are 9 and 6. Last week, Mike called me asking to regularly babysit. Apparently, his affair partner is now his live-in girlfriend. She's some AI art influencer with 50,000 followers who posts AI pictures of cats wearing clothes. And they want free time. He had the audacity to say that Emma would have wanted me to help for the kids. I told him absolutely not. The thought of babysitting while he lives with the woman who betrayed Emma makes me sick. Some say the kids are innocent and need support, others think that I'm justified. Mike is now telling everyone that I've abandoned Emma's children. My own family is pressuring me, saying that I'm being vindictive. Am I the butthole? You know what I don't understand after reading literally thousands and thousands of Reddit posts is how is it that every single human being on Earth seems to have this group of friends who literally just don't understand basic morality. This is one of like the most cut and dry, wow, Mike is a horrible human being, this is not Emma's responsibility, stories that you could possibly imagine. So who are these friends who are like, I don't know, Mike makes a really good point. I mean, yeah, he cheated on his dying wife who died of cancer, but let's cut the guy some slack. Who are these people? I like this reply from Left Ad, not the butthole. Give the cheater the contact details of your mutual friends and family who think otherwise. Right? OB, you get 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving the cheater, oh geez, I think 4.5 out of 5 buttholes. These stupid friends that are in every story, they were all just so stupid, I'm giving them 2 out of 5 buttholes. Am I the butthole for leaving in the middle of Thanksgiving dinner because of pumpkin pie? I'm a 32-year-old woman, and my mother, who's 60, hosts Thanksgiving dinner at her house every year. It's a small event, and my parents, me, my brother's family, and my sister-in-law's family attend. We avoid family quarrels by implementing a strict no politics rule and trying our best to be civil. I should probably mention that we're not a particularly close-knit family. We rarely see each other beyond these events since my brother lives in South Africa, and I travel a lot due to my work. Thanksgiving is important to my mom since it's one of the rare times that we're all together. Anyway, the main problem I have with my mother is her constant critique of me. She has a habit of making passive-aggressive comments about my life choices, from my career to my lack of children to the way I dress. I've addressed this with her multiple times, but she doesn't really seem to be aware of it. My father claims that it's just her way of fussing and expressing that she cares. It does hurt though, because my brother is never criticized in the same manner. I can't entirely fault her for her criticism, since I did majorly mess up my life a few months ago. Depression, and it's affected her opinion of me negatively. It doesn't excuse the way that I acted, but I just wanted to explain why I left. By the time we finished dinner, I was a bit prickly because of some of her commentary. Now, I made a cake for dessert. I was explicitly put in charge of it, and no one specified what exactly I should make, so I opted for maple cheesecake. I did my best, and I think it looked okay. Mom normally makes pumpkin pie, but I really hate pumpkins. They make me gag. So I thought perhaps we could try something new. As I was bringing out the cheesecake, my mom eyed it somewhat warily and announced that she had decided to make the usual pie as well. This caught me off guard. I asked why she didn't tell me beforehand, and she said something like, well, we figured you do your own thing, so I thought it was best to have a backup. She went on to cut the pie and serve it to everyone, instructing me to leave the cheesecake in the kitchen. When someone asked to try my dessert, she said, let's not mix too many flavors at once, which just felt passive-aggressive. I know that it's immature for an adult to get this upset over a triviality, but I just politely refused as she was handing me a slice of pie, retrieved my coat, and left. People were calling after me, I think, but at that point I was crying for some reason, and it would have been too humiliating to have an emotional outburst in front of everyone for no real reason. My mom just texted me saying that it was incredibly rude and immature of me to leave like that, especially on Thanksgiving. My brother also sent me a message saying that I'm acting irrational. I feel horrible for leaving so abruptly, especially because my parents are getting older and we're already not close. Something about my mother seems to turn me into a neurotic teenager, and I hate it. OP, what do you mean something about your mother? It's pretty obvious. She's just a butthole. Did she really tell you to make a dessert just so that she could embarrass you in front of everyone and make everyone not eat your dessert? Was that her whole plan? I don't blame you, OP. She sounds exhausting. Why would you even go to Thanksgiving in the first place? OP, I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving your mom 2.5 out of 5 buttholes and the rest of your family 1.5. Am I the butthole for ruining Thanksgiving after my boyfriend announced my pregnancy and his mom fainted? Alright, so I'm a 20-year-old woman and my boyfriend Jake is 22. I went to Jake's family Thanksgiving dinner last week. We've been dating a year, and this was my first time meeting the whole squad, so I was already kinda nervous. Before we left, Jake joked about how his family was super traditional and said that I should be ready for some old-fashioned vibes. I just laughed it off. Dinner starts and everything's fine until Jake suddenly goes, hey everyone, we have big news. I'm sitting there like, what big news? Then he grins at me and says, tell him babe. I'm panicking, so I just sit there confused. And his mom is already emotional, asking if we're engaged or something. Then Jake drops, she's pregnant! Y'all, I am not pregnant. I immediately start denying it, but Jake's cracking up saying it's just a joke and telling me to play along. His family is not laughing. His mom legit faints, and his dad starts yelling, and his grandma is praying under her breath. I'm mortified. I stand up and go, actually, the real joke is Jake thinking that I would stay with someone who told us, and I walked out. Jake's been blowing up my phone saying that I embarrassed him and ruined Thanksgiving. His family is apparently mad at me for causing drama, but like, I didn't announce a fake pregnancy and traumatize his mom. Am I the butthole for walking out and leaving him to deal with this mess? OP, you'd be crazy not to leave this crazy family. Anyone blaming you is straight up bonkers. Jake also sounds like a really terrible boyfriend. So I'm giving you 0 out of 5 buttholes. I'm giving Jake 2.5 out of 5 buttholes, and the family that judges you 1.5. That was r/Am I the Butthole. And if you like this content, check out my podcast where I publish the exact same episodes. Also, hit that subscribe button because I put out new Reddit videos every single day. Welcome to r/Best of Redditor updates, where a woman.
Yes, I watched Game Boy 80.
Woo! Benevolence is thirsty work. Well, I thought we'd
How
eliminate.
the fuck is this bot full HP?
Sick kids.
Oh, dude, that's so up.
No. We're eliminating the sickness by encouraging people to donate. We're going to need some help. Because you and I are technically R-rated, and these are kids. Sick kids.
Did someone call for help?
Linda Carter! What the fuck are you? Aren't you a wonderful woman?
Okay, so what's the plan?
We're gonna help eliminate sick kids by raising money for Sick Kids Hospital.
What do you need me to do? Don't be so obtuse.
So obtuse. You know, the thing, if you don't mind.
The thing. Come on, lady, give us the sugar.
Yes.
Stand back. Here I go.
What's happening? She's gonna do it!
Who did this?
The DC lawyers, I knew it.
That's one fucking ugly sweater.
Yeah, it's probably the same guy that got Cavill and that other Batman. Let's ride.
We should probably go and tie Santa.
next segment, and I'm going to open this up. This is not an ad, but it might feel like an ad. It's a product that we got recently that I, myself, and a lot of people in the studio have been thoroughly enjoying. It's the new Linus Precision Screwdriver. Have you guys have all played with this, right?
I played with the spinny part.
Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
What a bearing.
The LTT team sent us over a few of these, and I can't believe how impressed I am by this little screwdriver.
I've never used to screw anything in, but I have a fidget toy. It is impeccable.
It is. They put a ball bearing, to explain to audio listeners, it is a small screwdriver very similar to the iFixit kit. We'll talk about that in a minute. Small precision screwdriver for smaller, precision tasks that are unlike what the regular line of screwdriver is, which I also use and I
very big.
like a lot. Yeah. But not normally on these small precision screwdrivers do you have a bit compartment for it when you pull up the top. Yeah. But what they did specifically that is fantastic with this thing is they put a ball bearing in the little top that has their logo on it, and this sucker rips.
It does. Let it rip, Andrew.
You hear that?
And it will do that for about 3 minutes.
I think at least 60 seconds. Like,
yeah, longer.
Really solid.
Let's just all sit here and wait 60 seconds while it's okay. And he has that at an angle, so it would actually go longer if he had it straight out. I don't have it. Yeah, because it's the bearing in it is turned to 2 lengths.
So yeah, that's basically it. That's why we like the screwdriver.
I still disagree. Also, I just want to say, for every competition we've had in here, who can spin it the longest, I've won every time. Just saying.
Really?
Is that why you like it so much?
Wait, but my guys can rip a frizz, so you might do it even harder.
I mean, okay, I'll just do a really quick breakdown of what this is. For $30, you get... Well,
it's $30? That's it?
No, hold on. No, it is $30 for just the screwdriver with no bits. The reason they did that is because, from what I heard, they matched the bits with the iFixit kit to like fit perfectly because they've already... partnered with iFixit a bunch.
I'm buying one right now.
There is something
Not
there's something very specific that they mentioned with how the bits fit, whereas like some screwdrivers measure the inside to the standard, where they measure the opening to the standard, where some the bits are measured to the standard. So if you have one of one and one of the other, they won't fit because they'll be the same size. One has to be bigger, one has to be smaller. And I think iFixits are a little different, so they actually match theirs to fit with iFixit. So if you have an iFixit kit already, because a lot of LTT fans have an iFixit kit,
they've been sponsored.
Yep, you can for $30 buy this and it can replace your iFixit screwdriver because this does not spit. This is a great screwdriver, but it doesn't spin well and it doesn't have the compartment on the inside.
Oh yeah.
They also did a great job with the compartment because it has this very nice mechanism where it just actuates and goes down. It's never
cool.
stuck halfway through.
Yeah.
Say that again?
Well, you have the iFixit kit thingy.
You're just buying a screwdriver for them.
You're just buying this.
And the fidget toy.
You can put them in there, but if you're like taking it somewhere, you can put a couple inside. Keep your favorites.
Yeah, or
like your bookmarks.
If you only use 5 or 6, you can keep just basically that in your drawer.
If I were doing this, I would probably keep the standard ones that I use for like all my computer builds up here, so I don't have to remember each time.
Is it ratcheting?
No, I don't believe so.
Oh.
No, it's not ratcheting.
Non-ratcheting screwdriver. I'm a fanboy for the OG Linus stick tip screwdriver. That's the one.
It is a really good.
I have that one. It ratchets. It has a little bit compartment. It doesn't spin, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. A lot of people also recommend an electric screwdriver.
There's a very specific one all the keyboard people use. Magic Stick, I think, or something.
So is this like somewhere in between like a drill and an analog screwdriver?
Wow Stick. It's a very popular one in the keyboard. An analog screwdriver.
Have you ever gone down to make a comment on a video and thought, oh my god, there's already so many. Who is ever going to read this? The answer is me. Believe it or not, I spend hours every week reading your comments. Everything from constructive feedback to positive vibes about your new favorite LTT member to, yes, even really mean personal attacks. Some of which have gotten pretty creative, by the way, which is why it's time for another round of Linus Read Mean Comment. But it's not all me this year. You name a host, we found a roast, and we'll be getting reactions from the others as well. So buckle up and put on your protective eyewear, because this is going to hurt a lot. What won't hurt is telling you about our sponsor, LifeIn. Look, none of us actually enjoy going to the dentist, so why don't you keep those visits to the bare minimum by taking care of your teeth with the LifeIn way? Click the link below or keep watching to learn more.
All you gotta do, read those.
You make it sound so easy. Delusional Linus thinks killing babies should be a constitutional right. What a father. The earrings and socks with sandals makes? Wow, you really aren't pulling any punches, hey?
Not this time. Wait for more.
Damn, looking back, Jake has really let himself go. Jesus, I actually lost weight. I've lost 70 pounds in a year. Damn, you Gio, that's wrong.
Damn. Dennis's Canadian accent's actually getting really good. Really? What's the Canadian accent? I don't think people will agree with you. Oh yeah, but just give her. Can I get my double-double? I don't know why, but I think he will tell me. I think he's testing me, wanting to see if he can make me buy things I regret. I'm not testing you. I don't know. That's a weird one. I don't even know how to respond to that. I thought these were gonna be mean.
Who decided to name their girl child Butt? It's my last name. I didn't have a choice. My parents didn't have a choice. And also, I kind of like my last name, so you.
A blonde guy with a ginger beard. That's a bold choice. It's a bold choice to assume I'm blonde. I've never been blonde. My hair not blonde.
Keep an alarm in 20 minutes to call mama.
Talking about each other looks is ironic, since they are perfect examples of how the genetic pool in Canada seems more like a genetic puddle.
I mean, Riley and I look very different from each other, so...
In 20 minutes to call mama.
This is not like it's Iceland where we need an app to know who's later on.
I feel like if you're writing a comment to criticize James and I commenting on each other's looks, that's fair enough. That's not something you should do.
Okay.
Even less so.
Alarm in 20 minutes. Call mama.
Dennis. Does he think I am Dennis? Is it that we're both minorities here at LG? He's like, oh, well, that must be Dennis. We don't look alike at all. He is not in that video. It's me unboxing a phone and talking about a Xiaomi phone.
Who would say something mean about Dennis? Exactly. But I can also understand people who don't know me. Maybe can find me a little bit different.
Absolutely.
So this kid would like a Make-A-Wish hire, right? Yeah, I can't argue with that one. It's fine, Colin. I'll read them for you. It says, Linus is Skipper, Jake is Kowalski, Elijah is Private, and Colin is Rico. The penguins of Madagascar. It's a movie. Okay.
What a fucking menace. Is James capable of reading instructions at all? Hey, I remember this one. That was not my fault. Yes, I actually, usually on any kind of build project, I'm the person who wants to read the instructions. But for you people at home, sometimes it's more fun if we don't.
Proof, man. I'm sorry. Just can't stand this guy. That's okay.
I'm like a combination of Alex, Riley, and James. Yes, that is a complement with an E, not I.
What does that mean? You're the white dude? Like, I'm also just confused about why you're volunteering this information. Hey everybody, I'm like a combination of Alex Riley and James. What does that mean? He's like a tall, engineering, funny, good-looking guy. Describe his mind.
Damn, Linus is hot. I love Linus's final form. More tiny, please. Do not have ghosted some of the comments on my mind sometimes. Thank you. Wow, okay, this just says car guy, but car is in quotation. What the f, Angel? Who are you? What are you, a Honda guy? Jesus.
Linus hired back from Breaking Bad. You foresee Breaking Bad. Who's Adrin? Don't you have to look like this guy? Who is this? The only clear thing is Alex is not the most skilled gun. Go and try and
Where the fuck are you? Why I cannot win this game? Why are there so many fucking sweats? I cannot win this game.
I'm glad our awkwardness was able to shine through.
Help me, God.
Your opinions
Someone
on the
carry
Biden and parts as a whole
me.
were total fucking dog. You're cracked out of your gourd on meth. You should not be that out of touch with the value of $80. Okay, one moment for a second here. We'll slow down, Linka. I'm talking about a thing that is already happening. Look at Final Fantasy VII Remaster. This ain't hypothetical. Jeez, I didn't buy it. I waited. I'm not in touch with the value.
Fuck this game.
Loof just loves anything that is a pointless gimmick he doesn't do. I kinda do. That's 100% true. If it's a weird gimmick and makes something unique, I'm all for it.
Real fans remember the LTT 8K fireplace video where James panics halfway through because